This time we take a trip out to a classic bike meet at the Boat Inn in Ironbridge. So a few weeks ago we were asked if we wanted to attend a classic bike meet at the Boat Inn in the Ironbridge Gorge. The Ironbridge Gorge is of course said to be the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, in the UK at least, and houses the world's first iron bridge, as well as a few other early industrial relics. These days it's a really pleasant place to visit, but back in the day it would have been hell on earth. Today though, we're at a very nice pub called the Boat Inn, where we're going to get to show our bikes off. And I have to say that some of the bikes here on show, as well as some of the bikes that people just turned up on to check it out, were absolutely exquisite, and there was a fantastic range of bikes here today. You're going to get stuck. I'm just going to go. Turnout was excellent, and there was a really good selection of Japanese machines from the 1970s and into the 80s. Everything ranged from the humble Super Dream to all sorts of crazy two-strokes. A relic of a very brief part of history when the Japanese went turbo crazy. Well, in fact, everybody went turbo crazy. There were quite a few Suzuki and Kawasaki two-strokes present, and some of these were absolutely exquisite and absolutely perfect factory fresh condition. Somebody spent a great deal of money on these bikes, I think. Oh, it's BMZ?
BS8.
I've already got one, bought my own, what are you on about?
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have you seen the MZs?
No. Been busy.
Okay. That when I had that accident at Huntington, the two policemen came out of the kids and demonstrated picking off me.
Tom was very impressed with the overall look of the little 404 Honda, though he did say he thought the sound was a bit mid. I'm not sure what that means, but it probably doesn't mean it's that great. Can't be sure. Further up the Honda pecking order was this very nice early model CB750K. people and bike fans by nature are surprisingly conservative in their choices, particularly styling. If you ever go too adventure, and you just can't ignore the simple extravagance and the sheer lunacy of the CBX 1000. At the extreme end of the motorcycle pecking order, we find the MZs. You can just smell the poverty. Do you quite like them then? For its simple, solid engineering, for me the MZ is the very epitome of shabby chic. But if you want the epitome of glamour, look no further than our friends over in Italy. And indeed, the Italian motorcycle industry was very well represented today. That's unusual fairing. Fairing is usually that style, but usually with single light. And he's had, look, he's had see the conversion, he's had done on the sub, got an external oil.
Yeah. That's why I had a blue one.
It's the 500. By midday, the show was really beginning to fill up very nicely. Oh, that reminds me. Let's look at some British bikes while we're here. The small marquee in the pub garden housed some very interesting off-road trail bike type machines, including BSAs, CCMs, Husqvarnas and a few machines from the 60s and late 50s. Parked next to these bikes and just in front of my beloved Gold Flash is this lovely AJS twin. That one? Yeah, I got some video.
What time is an 88
Something to the guy, we think it's a 600 most likely. So an 8, so 99. The event attracted some lovely machines, just like this Norton ES2, which was just stuck in the car park.
Yeah.
If you really want to take a trip to Glamour Town, however, we popped into the small gazebo at the side of the pub and found some excellent machines, some of which belong to the organiser of the event. This Norton side valve, for example, looked absolutely factory fresh. The same can also be said for this lovely AJS. And in the event car park, someone had come along with this beautiful flat tank Sunbeam. Howard Raymond Davis, HRD, the only man to win the TT on a machine of his own manufacture. And a very nice example of one of his machines was on show here today at the Marquee. The road-going Cami Velocet. What a delightful machine these are to ride. And to me it's always seemed odd that Velocet never bothered to take the machine out to the full 500cc's. At the other end of the spectrum for Velocet is the LE model. This very nice model is a later series too, so it's got a foot gear change, none of that hand gear change and pull start business here. In police service these are often nicknamed the Noddy bike. Nothing to do with the cartoon character by Enid Blyton, but simply because the riders were told to nod at each other as they passed, rather than salute whilst riding a machine. The very antithesis of the LE, the Indian Scout, sits at the other side of the room. The Scout is possibly one of the most beautiful machines ever created. Time for something a bit more competitive. Why not try this lovely Norton overhead cam Inter? And if you think that bike's a little bit too old-fashioned, check out this lovely little single-cylinder Ducati racer. As we're in the very heart of England, it shouldn't really be surprising that an awful lot of machines built in the Midlands were on show today, from companies such as BSA and Triumph in particular. The Norton Dominator. Since Tom's little potter around on a featherbed frame Norton, he's become absolutely obsessed with these machines. As usual, like most shows in Britain, there were a hell of a lot of Triumphs.
So playing a video on British 500, so might as well get is that an A7 or an A10? Look over there. A10 I think.
Yeah, the good thing is becoming as well. It could be a good or a bad picture.
Yours sounds lovely. When I'm behind yours, mine's got a bit of a it sounds like a misfire.
They tend to be quite porous. And the seals go on them and they always leak after a few years. They're not as oil tight as some of the other bikes. But there again, a lot of it's a Sinclair C5.
I don't understand how you're sitting on like bandicles.
It's a no.
There's just something very alluring about the black and gold paint job that you find on most Velocets. Don't think I could own one in any other colour scheme if I'm honest.
Oh yeah. So it's just an MSS, Tom, is it?
So after a fine day ogling at other people's bikes, we really did decide it was time to head home. And what a great day it's been. Hopefully I'll run the same event again next year, who knows, maybe the turnout will be even more special. If it is, we'll be there to video it. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, thank you very much for watching.